Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at Cosmos Atom. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Now, if you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to check it out. It's going to be in the top right hand corner. Watch that before watching this one so that you have more context. I'm not going to be repeating any of the stuff that I said in the last video. I'm just going to be referencing back to it. Now, if we open up the daily chart on TradingView, you can see that I have a smaller fib over here on top of the larger fib. So we're going to focus on the smaller fib for now. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And you can see the white trend line that we had from the last video. So this was a resistance line that we broke through. And I told you once we see a pullback, and I was pretty certain that we are going to get a pullback. So that was January 16th when we had the last update on Cosmos. And since then, obviously, we had a dump, and look where we landed. We almost perfectly landed on the white trend line. So if you bought in from the white trend line, you were up 25, almost 25% roughly. And yeah, so I told you once you start losing this pink trend line, look for the 20 EMA. You held the 20 EMA for 3 days. On the fourth one, you dumped to the 55 EMA, wicked a bit below that. You actually went to the first fib level of the large fib retracement and the small fib retracement. They actually are aligned with the swing high that they have. So I have the swing high for the smaller fib as the peak of May 7th and the swing high of the larger fib as the peak of May on 7th May. So yeah, it looks very good right now. Cosmos Atom didn't dip that much considering how low all the other mid-cap altcoins went down. You know, Cosmos has been doing relatively good. And right now what it's doing is it is consolidating in between the 20 EMA and the 55 EMA. So the red line is the 55 EMA and the yellow line is the 20 EMA. So once you're in between them, you're consolidating. Once you're above them, you're in an uptrend. And once you're below them, you are in a downtrend essentially, or you're entering a downtrend. So what I want to see right now and what would be the continuation of the uptrend, because so far we are in an uptrend. We have higher highs and higher lows. Here, we barely printed we printed a spot on double top pattern. And if we start losing that pattern, actually, let me try to chart that. There we go. Just like that, 3470. Let me give you the target. So the target was met actually of that double top pattern. So you had a nice double top pattern. The target was around $28, and we wicked all the way down here to $27. So we are in an uptrend. We are still in an uptrend. We haven't lost this December low, and we haven't lost this September low or this July low. This is what the September low looked like for Cosmos. So it is actually quite bullish in my opinion. Some of the altcoins have already lost their June/July bottom, and that is very bearish for them. So they can continue in their downtrend. But for Cosmos, we are in a bullish cross on the daily chart that we formed at the beginning of the year, and we are still in that bullish cross. And as you can see, once you have the bullish cross, you see the appreciation with that. Now, like I said, we are in between the EMAs. What that means is we can either go and dump from here or go to the upside. That can happen at any time, I know. But considering that the markets are very volatile right now, and considering the fact that the Chinese New Year is around the corner, I am expecting another dump for crypto, and I am expecting Cosmos Atom to go down with it. So what I would like to see hold is obviously this white trend line. This would be the best thing for us. This would be the support level that I would like to see held, right? But there is a chance that we might lose that. So what are you going to be looking at in that case? Is you're going to be looking at the 786 on this smaller fib, which is $24 roughly. Never have round numbers in your buy or sell orders. Always have 24.7, 24.6, just so that it's not a round number and you increase your chances of getting the orders filled. That's a little tip for you. So yeah, like I said, look for some more bounces off of this white trend line. If we end up losing it, right, you end up losing this white trend line, look for the 786 to hold as support. If Bitcoin goes all the way below 30K, obviously at that point, all coins are going to bleed very hard. And I'm going to give you some support levels right now for you to have some buy orders ready and set to go. For example, if you don't want to buy in right now and you're waiting for the absolute bloodbath that potentially can still come, is then you're looking at $18.89 as the golden ratio of the smaller fib, and we haven't really back tested that. Actually, no, we have back tested it over here. Now, below that, you have the 0.5, which is sitting at $16, and you have the 786 of the large fib level over here. So this is a level that has quite a lot of support because we've been hitting that as resistance in June as well. So this is a level that we can back test as support. And yeah, I don't see us going any lower. If we go any lower than, $16 for Cosmos, then, it's a free for all. You just want to buy as many tokens as possible. Now, I still don't think that we're going into a bear market. Bitcoin's holding structural support. We can still even print a double bottom on Bitcoin and we'd still be good for continuation. We are not losing structural support on Bitcoin. We are not in a bear market yet, guys. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, because they're either speaking out of their bum or they're simply calling it a bear market just because Bitcoin is down more than 50% from its all-time high. Bitcoin has pulled back more than that in previous bull markets. Bitcoin had a 65% pullback, I believe, in 2017. Multiple strong pullbacks in 2017, in fact. So this is all simply a corrective phase of a bull market, okay? So don't be scared of the markets. You have to use these dips as opportunities to get more coins. Now, if we jump into the daily RSI over here, you can see that I gave you this 39.75 RSI support level that we bounced off over here December 19th, and we barely got there. As you can see, we didn't even get there. We didn't even touch this level, but we got close to that level. So if you bought in from here, good for you. Now, yeah, that's it for the daily chart. You can see that the RSI sitting on the index of 48, pretty neutral, not doing anything right now. If you see yourself get overextended to the upside and you get above the index of 70, which is over here, then you're going to be overbought, and that's a good place to take some profits if you're looking to take some profits. Obviously, if you're holding for the long term, just take your coins. Don't worry about the short-term price fluctuations. Now, let's jump into Binance's 4-hourly chart. Okay, jumping into the 4-hourly chart, you can see that we are in a channel up pattern over here. So potentially what usually happens with these patterns is you end up dropping from them and coming back to where the pattern was formed. So potentially $28 over here is a level that you should look out for. Now, I did give you this buy zone on the 4-hourly chart in the last video. So this was from $27.66 all the way to, let me give you that, all the way to $26.28, I believe, right? Was it that actually? Yeah, I do apologize. I didn't give you that in the last video. I did give you the 0.5 over here on the Fibonacci retracement. So the 0.5 was at $28, and from there you are up around about 32%. So I am expecting to come back down to $28 at least. Right? We can obviously explode from here just like we did back in July/August and completely get overextended. But for now, if we get bullish news, that is. But for now, what it's looking like is this is just a little relief rally. You're in a channel up pattern and you're going to come back down to $28. You have this buy zone between $28 and $26.3. Below that, you have the 0.236 at $22. Now, this Fibonacci retracement is just a little bit different as well, I think. This is from the low of September, and we have the swing high in September as well. So that gives us a bit of a different fib over here. The 1.272 is sitting at $58. So I just use a couple of different fibs on different charts so that I can get as many support levels and resistance levels as possible. right? So that I'm not only focused on a one fib retracement and that's it. That's what I recommend doing anyway. Now jumping into the 4-hourly chart on the RSI, as you can see, we're pretty neutral as well. We were oversold here January 22nd. That's when you should have been buying, and you're down over here at 48. So neutral, nothing too crazy going on. So the MACD is potentially going to print a bearish cross right now. So after you have a bearish cross, just like you had here January 21st, you saw that move to the downside. Potentially, you're going to see another move to the downside. So have the buy orders ready and set to go. That's what I always tell my patrons to do. Instead of, waiting for the dip and only then setting the buy orders, at that point, you could have missed the low prices, right? Because you see these wicks to the downside, they get bought up very quickly. So if you're asleep, you're not going to be able to catch this. But with the ability to set some limit orders, that, enables you to get into the projects at even these low prices. So jumping into the 4-hourly stochastic RSI, I would wait until you are oversold here on the 4-hourly chart. And once you get into this zone below the index of 20, that's when I would be entering Cosmos Atom. But overall, I'd be dollar cost averaging into it anywhere below $30 because it's a very bullish project and the future for Cosmos is incredibly bright. So just take your tokens if you're holding them for the long term, make them earn passive income for you. And that's pretty much everything I have for you in this video. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Feel free to check out our Telegram chat with a great community, our Discord server with a great community, great NFT projects being shared there, great low cap gems, great crypto news, constant crypto news updates over there. And we also have a Patreon. Make sure to check that out. Great way to support me and a great way for me to give back to those who support me. Think of it as buying a cup of coffee, but instead of the coffee, you get a lot of useful content for 30 days. So I post like almost 40 posts per month now on Patreon. So feel free to check out. The links are in the description. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.